What's up, y'all? So this Keisha, also known as Frack, and welcome to On the Cloud podcast. So we made it to episode 16, and then this episode for this week, we're talking about relationships and just everything around relationships, period. So my special guest today is Miss Taylor Ross. I met her at Grand Valley. So basically I'll let her introduce herself, just tell people like where you're from, just a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Taylor, like Keisha said, from Detroit, Michigan. We met, like Keisha said, at Grand Valley in our master's program. I currently am working in Grand Valley in the Housing and Residence Life Department and just trying to make it through this pandemic.
That's all we can do. So to kind of transition and get right on into the questions. So the first question is, what turns you on? Like, what are your turn ons in general?
Ooh. Um, I think these have definitely matured with me. Priority for me is probably intellect. Um, Obviously, I think that looks is a big component of it. Like everyone is attracted to those physical features first, but if those can only get you so far, like once you have a conversation with someone, if it's just nuts and bolts there and they don't have like that intellect where they can carry a conversation or talk about some of the things happening in the world, like that's a no-no for me. I really don't have too many vices when it comes to what I'm attracted to. Short, tall, thick, skinny. Well, yeah.
No, I love
That might be one just because like I'm a thick girl myself. So like being with like a real skinny dude, that's just something I know about myself. That's not something I really want. But like there are not too many things on the physicalities that like will trip me up when I'm interested in a man.
Okay. All right. I like that you said that like he would have to touch on things that's going on in the world, get updated. Like people don't know how to have like conversations no more. So I like you
Yeah.
on that. So what
Yeah,
about
the fake woke people.
hmm
I can't I can't do that.
so what about like on the flip side? So what turns you off about a person?
No drive,
So
right?
try.
Like we're here, right? We getting our master's degrees. Like we clearly have a plan for our future. I can't be with someone that doesn't have an equal plan. It doesn't have to be like education, right? School is not for everybody. I
Mhm.
didn't think it was for me. Here I am in a master's. Like, what the heck?
Me
um, but like, right.
either. Here.
um, but if you have like a plan, whether you want to start a business or you want to do a trade, whatever that looks like to you, as long as you have a plan to enact it, I'm riding with you. Um, Another turn off would probably be, and here's that like reverse side, just that stupidity level.
Mhm.
I I don't like wasting my time with people that are threatened by my knowledge. Um, I'm definitely one of those people that I just enjoy to learn. I'm probably gonna be one of those lifelong learners that have like buku degrees and certificates, right? Like it's just what I enjoy to do.
Yeah.
And if you can't either keep up or are threatened by that, then that's like a big miss for me as well.
I feel it. I understand. Yeah, I think that's really a lot with us like furthering our education and people like think differently and it's just weird. So that just fears a lot of people. I don't know why. Like that's
Yeah, it feels like the feels like the like when you be having the forced conversations or y'all just not on the same page and stuff, and it's just like you just kind of be like just nodding like I can't believe I can't believe this is coming out of your mouth right now. So, and you know me, like I'm very outspoken. So, if it ain't working out, just I'm not gonna pretend to be interested in a conversation that I'm not interested in.
Yeah, me either. Nah. I would probably end up laughing. Like I'm too goofy. I end up just laughing. They'll think that I think they a joke, but play it off.
Right,
Play it off. Yeah.
right. Deep
But
hurt feelings.
yeah, I feel you on that too. What about, so like we talked about what turns you on, what turns you off. So if you're in that dating phase, what's your ideal first date? Like it could be locations, it could be like reasons why you will still talk to this person or you won't talk to this person.
Ooh. I don't think I have an ideal first date. I just like to see effort,
Effort.
right? Like if you have the date planned out and it's not like we meet up somewhere or you pick me up and then you're like, well, what are we gonna do? Like
I hate
I
that.
don't, yes, like I don't like that. Like if you are asking me out on a date, then you obviously want to get, well, I would assume you will want to get to know me, right? So, um, like just have the day planned. It doesn't, like we could go to a restaurant, we can go to a park, we can go ice skating, roller skating. Like if you have a plan, I don't care, right? It's that when when they okay, well let me take you out, and then they kind of want you to plan the whole thing, right? There's no like trying to get to know you. Like I don't know, it's weird. Like if I was to ask someone out, I never have,
Me?
but if I did, but if I did, I would like to assume that I would try to have the day planned. And I might ask questions like, well, what do you like to do? What do you enjoy doing? And then plan it that way. But to ask someone out and then be like, well, what do you want to do? Like that's weird to me, you know?
Yeah,
I don't
especially
know.
we
Like
talking
you
about
don't
the first date. So this is the first impression. So
right.
over with if you try to ask me. Like, no.
Exactly. And like when people, well, we could just chill. No,
Mm.
no, we can't. I'm like, I have this conversation with my mom all the time because I've realized that my standards have started to change the older I get. Like I'm 26 now, and like that whole chilling and doing, that's not a date to me. Like if we are hanging out, we're friends. Like, and then with also these, it's a lot of statistics on women disappearing and being sexually assaulted and all this stuff. So like what makes you think I don't know you? Like I'm not about to come to your house or you're not about to come to my house. Like you might come back and rob me. I don't know.
Yeah, like I want to move so bad. So that's gonna be like my biggest fear is just the dating phase and like having to drive
Yep.
myself there and the first time, all of that. Like where you take it. And
Yeah.
it's crazy we gotta feel that way as women because we can't even allow the gentlemen to actually be gentlemen because we have that fear
Yeah.
in those statistics. So yeah.
Yep. I've been trying to move. I'm like ready to go when we graduate. And I've
Oh,
been like, okay, well, I don't want to do a house because there are too many entrances, right? It's like too many ways someone could get in my house. So I'm like looking at apartments. Like it is sad that we gotta think about that stuff in the day where we just trying to live our lives.
we don't know nobody out of town too. So good luck to
Right.
good luck to us. So
Right.
yeah. So we talked about dating, and let's just say, for example, so we're both okay. We're both single, right? But let's just say you're
Hmm.
in a relationship, or if you have been before. If someone cheats on you, do you believe in second chances? That was like a good pause.
So, okay. So I'm really conflicted, right? Because I'm a firm believer in like Black love, right? And all this stuff. But when we look at past generations, or at least me, I won't speak for the entire Black culture, but like Black love can be equated to struggle love, right? And
Yeah.
it's like we look at these married couples that have been together for 40 plus 30 plus years, but then when you get older and you start hearing stories, it's like, well, so and so cheated on them and this, and it's like you look past that to get to where you are now, but it's like, why do we always have to struggle to find that end goal, right?
Mhm.
And for me, And this is why I'm single now, is because I am doing a lot of like self work on myself. Like I don't want to add a person into that when I'm already trying to figure it out myself. And so by the time I settle down with somebody, I would like to assume that I have healed from like past traumas, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't really think that I'll be in the space to allow someone to cause more harm or more trauma toward me and then take you back when I've worked so hard to fix myself, you know? So I'm probably leaning towards no, but I guess in the moment you never really know, right?
Yeah. And I don't know. A lot of people say like the amount of years or the amount of time you knew the person. And I just feel like what you saying, I'm starting fresh, literally. So it's not gonna be a time commitment in here. So it's like you can't tie that in. It's just really you and your worth and your self-care and how you feel about the situation. So
Yeah. And will you like honestly like ask myself, will I be able to forgive that person? Because if you can't forgive them, there's no point in, you know, continuing the relationship because every time they mess up, every time something happens, your mind is gonna go straight to the time that they cheated on you or they did whatever. And it's like y'all are never gonna be able to move past that. So I guess like in that situation, I would have to ask myself, like, can I actually forgive them for what they did and move on from it? And if I can't, then we're gonna have to let it go.
mm, I'm getting
Because it's just gonna be a
because
it's gonna
like
be a
once you do it, those doubts are in your head, and it's like it can't go away. So
sorry, people are waving to me in my window.
I'm with them like, hold on, you wave it
I'm
at.
sorry.
Oh, it's good, it's good. So yeah, so we talked about just the cheating phase too, like transitioning. I know that this can just be in marriage as well, but what are your thoughts? Like, do you believe in marriage?
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I think that the definition of marriage is has like I don't know. I don't think I like prescribed to the new definition of marriage. Like I see a lot of my high school classmates and even people I went to college with, and even people in our program, right, getting married. Um, I just don't feel like a lot of people have done the work to know what marriage is. Like if I'm marrying you, we gonna be in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not marrying someone after a year or two of dating. Like we don't know each other long enough, you know. And when I get married, I'm not. I mean, I don't think anybody gets married with the thought that they might get divorced. But when I get married, like that's a wrap. Like we gonna work something out. Like I can't. So I take marriage very, very seriously. Like it's not something I take lightly.
Yeah, I feel it. And yeah, marriage is like a commitment. So everything, once you make that move and make that choice, that decision, literally you're one, not separate sides, all of that. So I
Hmm.
definitely agree. It's,
And it can't just be love. Like people like, well, I love this person, so I'm gonna marry him. Like, okay, but you don't know their vices. You haven't lived with them long term. You don't know what traumas they're bringing from their childhood and their life. Like, there is so much more to marriage than I think people recognize. And then they get into these contracts with people that are legally binding, right? And then they feel suffocated or they feel lost. Like when I get married, we need to put everything out on the table before we take that step.
yeah,
Like these are my insecurities. This is what I bring to the table. This is what I need you to do for me. What can I do for you? What are your insecurities? Like we need to have those conversations if you trying to tie the knot. Like, yeah, I'm not doing that lightheartedly.
yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah, with marriage is just so serious. And like our generation is just so hard now. Like we look back at our parents and grandparents and we just see what you mentioned, that black love, and it's like now where's the hope? Well, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. And I'm strongly wanting to get married, one day to get married, but I agree, it's no rushing, and we utilize, we let social media and our family and our friends like push it and force it. And yeah, what's your thoughts on that too? Just like how social media and how our family and just people just trigger in and just push us to make these decisions that affects us. Like, yeah.
Social media is the devil. I mean, like I'm on it every day, but man, like, it gets depressing. Like, why are all of these people getting married and starting families, doing all this stuff? And like, I'm happy that I'm taking my time, but at the same time, I'm recognizing that I am almost 30. Well, depending on how you look at it, I'm 4 years shy of 30. So it's like, ooh, and my mom, God bless her, but she has been buying baby clothes for her non-existent grandchildren since I was in the sixth grade. And it's like, and she'll hint towards it every now and again about how she want her grandbabies and all this stuff. And it's like, Ma, can I like live?
Mm-hmm.
Can I live? You should be happy that I'm not just like bringing a child. Um, but yeah, social media, sometimes I'll be having to log off because it's like, dang, like I want that, but I don't want to rush it. Like when it comes to me, I want it to be authentic, genuine, and real and like lasting. You know what I'm saying? Like and when I do it, I'm not like, I'm not saying people get married or like have children for social media, but I don't know. I think I would probably keep more of that private when it does finally happen. Like I don't like people weighing in on my personal life and stuff. So I don't need those problems.
I feel it. I told my mom, I'm like, I'm not having a wedding. I don't like I am. I
What
am.
she say?
I took it back. I take it back. I'm having a wedding, but it's like it won't be for everyone. It'll literally just be like us on vacation. I'll probably throw a reception or something, but it's just the
Yeah.
energy and getting people involved. And I really don't want that with my family. Y'all my family, but it's just it's the difference. Like I'm all about peace now and trying to. You said working on yourself. We got plenty of time. COVID. I'm trying to see like who am I? Like I recently
Okay.
been in a relationship for 4 years, so being single
Okay.
now, what? Like I never was an adult and single, so I need to figure out like, okay, what do I like? What I need to,
Yes. And
yeah,
you need to be able to like articulate it. Like while you finding yourself, like you also need to be able to articulate that to someone that you do see a future with. And I think that's part of that like working on yourself piece. Like if I'm working on myself, but I can't tell you what I'm struggling with or what I'm working on, like in a way that you will receive it in a positive way and not like, me just venting or me like just talking, like that two-way communication, like I need my future partner to be on that too.
yeah, yeah. Well, I know we got these interviews and he's going, so maybe he's watching. Maybe he might tune in.
Well, he can. No, thank you.
I know, I know mine might be like, yeah, she's a joke. But hey, this
He can come
me.
across this video. He can come across this interview in like another like 4 years, and then I'll be ready.
Yep. It's just to be something funny to like show that person too. Like, this is what I was saying. But okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we talked about marriage, and I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what is your thoughts on divorce? Like, I know the rates are going up, and it's just a common thing right now. So,
Yeah, and rates are really high for Black women too. Um, I'm not one of those people that like. I know I said if we get married, we in it, but like also I'm a realist, and people change.
yep, they do. They do.
If it happens, it happens. I think that if you're in a if you're in a marriage and y'all actually try to work on the marriage and it's just a wrap, it's a wrap.
Mhm.
But like I said, I don't think anyone goes into marriage thinking they're gonna get divorced, but shit happens.
The way this world, and you like going in it, you just have to think or be prepared in case, because I don't know,
Yep.
just the thought.
And then it's stuff like like right now, the context we're living in with like the election just happening and all of these protests happening, you start to hear trigger words that people say, and it's like, oh my gosh, you think like that? Like, how can I be married or in a relationship with someone whose views are so vastly different from mine? And so like when stuff like that starts to come up, you can't, like those, that's when we talk about your values and your ethics and your morals. Like you just can't let that stuff go. So that's the like, I don't know. That's why it's scary. That's why I'm taking my time, because
Mhm. I
I
agree.
don't want to be 45, 50 years old finding out that my husband is dumb.
I'm like waiting for what you about to say. I'm like, what you
For lack of a better word, I ain't gonna call him dumb, but you know what I'm trying to say.
yeah. Just not what you figured or what you thought in the beginning. I
Yeah.
definitely understand. Yeah. Well, okay. Good thoughts on that as well. Well, you kind of answered all of my questions today. I'll just put it on the floor right now. Do you have like any questions or thoughts for me? Anything?
No.
No. Oh, you're the first
Can't
one.
think of nothing.
The first
I'm
one.
sorry.
No, that's
Let
good.
me come up
They've
with
been killing me with these questions. They've been on me. Like I feel like when I ask this, it's something like somebody already been thinking about all this time, and they just want to ask.
oh really?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm boring.
Oh my gosh.
No, I really can't think of nothing. Let me see. Um Actually, because I do want to know. So you know how like I don't know about you, but in my family, like we always talk about, I come from a huge family of women. I probably have like maybe 4, 5 male cousins that are my age. Like all the newer males are like children or like preteens.
Mhm.
So I come from a family of women, and we have this conversation often about our standards, right? And a lot of the women in my family are single. So I guess my question, like as another Black woman, do you think that you have super high standards? And if there's ever like a chance where you feel like you might have to quote unquote lower them, like what do you do in that situation? Like, do you feel like you should lower your standards to finally get to that relationship that everybody is like forcing on you, right? Like we talked about that, like
Yeah.
how our family members are like, when are you gonna get married? When are you gonna have kids and you do this? So like, I don't know, like talk to me about that, because that's low key something I'll be reflecting on.
Yes, that specifically, I'll say so. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned I was in a relationship before, but that was coming out of high school. So I was literally like a senior all the way up in like my whole college undergrad. I was in one. Now, getting out of that and learning from that, I feel like yes, my standards has risen. For one, yes, I'm furthering my education. For two, I'm thinking about starting this podcast, different
Right.
motivational things, businesses, just so much, and just keep going on. I just feel like if we're not, I'm not saying that. And I told my mom this, like, do not go out here looking for somebody who has their masters just like me, or just because we have the same religion. Like it
Yes.
doesn't, I don't look at that, but at the end of the day, you still have to be educated. You still have to, as you said, dumb earlier. We don't want that. But I'm just saying, like, my standards, I'm just like a real person. Like at the end of the day, like
Mhm.
I'm a down to earth person. You could talk to me just because I'm furthering getting my education and things like that. Yes, my standards are higher. Yes, my expectations are different, but it's kind of similar to others. Like I expect you to treat me right. I expect you to
Yep.
still have go. It's not like, oh, I've just got to go give me somebody with their doctorate and they have to be
Hmm.
rich, or I want a lawyer. Like it's not,
Right.
I don't look at that. I don't just go into the world like, oh, my husband has to be financially stable, have money. Like I'm willing to build. I'm not willing
Hmm.
to raise,
Okay.
but I'm
Oh,
willing to build.
yes.
I'm just saying,
Yes.
like I like to keep it real and still be me. Like, why would I know that I'm doing all this and then change and pretend to be somebody I'm not? Like, that's something
Hmm.
that a lot I hate that, especially in the Black community. Just because you're trying to do things and you're accomplishing all these goals, don't change.
Yep.
Like those same standards that you had, of course, they're going to change slightly, but don't just change and just, ugh, that topic is
Yeah.
too much.
And I think that once you start getting those higher up credentials, people think that you changed,
Yes,
right? So even if you
the
stayed the
talent.
same, yeah, now you're uppity, or you spoil. Oh my gosh, someone called me a Republican. I don't want to bring like I'm not a Republican for people watching, but I'm saying like, okay, I went to college and okay, I know a few more words than you. Now I'm a Republican. Like what? Like
I, I never heard
I
that.
didn't completely, I didn't switched up my whole values because I got a degree now. Like I don't like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, and I
And
feel
it's
the
like you
podcast.
like
No, you can go.
hmm?
No, go ahead. I'll wait till you done.
I feel like people like I don't feel like my standards are high. Just like you said, it's normal stuff. Like I just want you to treat me with respect. And
Mhm.
that part about not raising, I will never. Like my dad is in the picture. He showed me what a man is.
Yep, my
And
dad.
I'm not accepting anything less. I'm not going to. Like I'm sorry, and that's what it is.
And that
So,
plays a
and
part.
yeah, and I feel like because I am where I am, like I don't need other people's money. I have my own. I don't need you to baby me or take care of me. Like I don't know. I just feel like everyone thinks this stuff is like so transactional where it doesn't have to be like eye for eye type thing. Like you should be in a relationship because you want to do for this person. They want to do for you. Like I don't need you to take care of me. And I've run into that problem with men where it's like, well, you don't need me. You damn straight.
Yep.
I don't need you. You shouldn't want me to need you. You should be happier that I am choosing to be around you, that I'm choosing to be with you. Like, why do you want me to be dependent?
And a
It
lot of
doesn't
people
make sense to
fear
me.
that. They fear that.
Yeah,
Fear that
like
in
that's
people.
weird.
So, yeah. I was gonna
I
say,
don't want you to need me.
I was gonna say, oh, with the podcast, I'm doing this and like talking to people, getting interviews, just making this well rounded so people can actually see who I am. Like, don't I come from Ben Harbor? I know pretty much everybody there. I want y'all to still remember, like, I'm still Keisha at the end of the day.
Okay.
So, like, don't think I done moved and just changed to a whole nother, So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm a little nerd. I can admit it.
I am
I'm
too.
always gonna be.
But I'm a cool nerd.
Oh,
I'm a cool nerd.
okay. I am now. In high school, I was not cool. But I always feel like I don't know. People don't be giving me a chance. Like I'm low key. I feel like I'm funny and I'm cool. But people like I don't know. I guess I give like uppity vibes. I
Mhm.
don't know how. I've been getting that my whole life. People think I'm a certain type of way until they get to know me. I'm so chill. Like I don't give a about anything. Like I'm the most. I don't. I'm so laid back. Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like because I have these credentials attached to my name and like the experiences I have, people are already viewing me as in a certain light without actually like getting to know me.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And that's not even relationships, that's just in general as well. Family,
It is.
friends, a lot of those like ugh, relationships just separate and people change and whole
Mm-hmm.
time you being you, they're changing because they think you changed. That's
Mm.
another thing. But
Yep.
it's a lot. That's just a lot to handle as Black women. So, well, that was a
Oh
good
yeah.
question. That was a good discussion too. I'm glad you brought that up because I've been thinking about that all the time.
I do. I think that thought run by my mind like once a week.
Once again,
Like, am I doing something wrong? Should I lower my standards? Like, but no,
don't do it. Don't do it.
right? I told my mom, I probably heard her because she really want these grandkids. And I'm like, I'd rather like just be alone than settle. I'm not going to settle.
Oh, it was
So,
nice to meet you. You just brought it up again. Okay. You know how you say like
uh-oh.
standards, right? I think a problem that will be for me is I need somebody that's kind of not on a lower level, not on a higher level, kind of in between, like how I feel I am. Like, let's just say you meet a rich man, but then I don't want nobody to feel like they are taking care of me. Like, I want
Dang.
my own business. I want us to come together. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm under someone or that they're
Yeah.
just in charge. Like, that's another thing I wanted to bring up. Like, I don't feel like
I
it would
think that's a I think that's a complex of Black women,
mm,
right? Like we're raised to be self-sufficient and strong and take care of ourselves, that when people want to take care of us, it's almost like, what are you doing? Like,
and I'm not
why are
allowing
you why are you spending money? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, it's weird. Like, I just think looking at the dynamics of the Black household and Black women, like, and how Black girls and Black boys are raised, like, generally we're already raised like taking care of the house, right? Taking care of ourselves, taking care of our siblings. And so when people try to do that, it's very hard for us to accept any form of help. Like even in a relationship, in the workplace, like we don't ask for help, which is why we burn out so fast,
yeah, we
you
do.
know. And so like I think that that would actually be really challenging for me if a man of a higher like socioeconomic status or whatever like tried to court me or date me or whatever. I think I would have a really difficult time with that. Not that I need or want to be the quote unquote breadwinner of the family, because it's 2020, so who gives a fuck who makes the most money?
Yeah,
but but I think like that would
it is
yeah.
challenging. It is. I don't. I personally feel that way too. Like, I don't think it will work. Like, if it's not a team effort, I don't think it would work. I just
Hmm.
can't. That's just me. Opinion on this.
uh, Maybe that's why we don't see Black women be the leads in them Hallmark movies where like the princes and stuff sweep them off their
My goal is to now make one. Let's go. Let's go make one. Let's go get some
feet.
ideas. Go talk to Tyler Perry. We
Dog.
need one. We need one with that.
Don't get me started on Tyler Perry. We'll be here for another hour. That man, he likes seeing Black women struggle. And that's all I'm gonna say. Me and Tyler Perry got beef. Not for
Oh
real.
Lord, don't
But
do it like that.
I'm not. Let me shut up.
I feel it. I feel it. Well, that's pretty much all I had. This was like a
Okay.
good discussion on Black love and women empowerment. Like, they need to hear this one for real.
Thank you.
So thanks for coming to the show. Thanks a lot. And thanks y'all for tuning in. See y'all.
Bye.